and I'll be good to you. I'll treat you the way you need to be treated.
You got to be good to me.
You gotta be all I need you to be, baby.
I'm gonna be good to you.
And I'll make you feel like, oh my God. I'm a 360 nigga, 730 all the way dirty. I got that burner on me now, you heard me. Tasted good like twice. Rap is shooting dice. Hell no, I ain't put my head between her legs.
You're like a doggy nigga.
And if it's a continental, see, bitch, I'm out. Got to want to win like I want to win and do things my way. If not, I'll put your ass out on the highway. I'm a bad judge of character, I know that shit. Man, time don't fly when you fuck with the wrong bitch. I mean, damn, why you come to me, bitch? What you want from me, bitch? You like the boogeyman, you're haunting me, bitch. I give you money, you spin that and come back like you need a new stack. I'm puzzled now, how the fuck you blow that? You got a nigga on the side, well, you should have him full time. Go fuck up his shit instead of mine. Don't get punk, bitch.
You got to be good.
I don't need you around here no way. Your motherfucking headache, you understand what I'm saying?
I'm gonna be
Look, my motherfucking head hurt right now because your punk ass. Bitch, why don't you go find something constructive?
got to be good to me.
You know? Kill yourself. Go on, kill yourself.
I'm gonna be
Go
good
into the bathroom, open the cabinet, and eat the pills.
She'll love you when your paper thick and look like you're making it. In and out the town fresh, Audi all eating it. Freak Fest, South Beach, Mardi Gras taping it. In the club ballin' on my party hall lake and shit. VIPing on them, you ain't even got a place to sit. Smoking piff, you'll cough every time you take a hit. Well, mama got me stuck, look how she shake her hips. She ain't used to this shit, but I'ma make it fit. She lost her sex drive, she wants a new one. I do you one better, I won't come till you come. Or join the counter, turn one bum to two bums. Dealing with a chick that can't even walk and chew gum. Money don't solve the problem, it prolongs it. You don't want things to get better, you just want shit. Ain't nobody happy about me and you, they all sick. Bitch, you had swagger, but mine reinforced it.
Damn, nigga.
Everything you had and you lost it.
Man, you should be happy you got rid of that bitch, man. She wasn't even worth the shoes she walked out in.
I'm gonna be
I know you bought the motherfucking shoes, man. The motherfuckers was hot, man. I ain't gonna front. I been tell my bitch, man, you can go get you a pair of them shits, man. Bitch, that bitch looking good. I'm a real nigga. You don't need that bitch, nigga. How much money you got?
What's up, man? What's good?
It's a plane, it's super, nigga. With 5 acres in the mule and the coupe is bigger. You gon' trick on that hoe? You a stupid nigga.
We in the building. We in the building. Let's get it.
This ain't a hobby. My name Tony, not Paul McCartney. I'm in a 7-star suite. Dutch in my head, remote in my hand. Model bitch on my mate. Baby girl want Chloe and Fendi Spa. She wanna fly to LA and live like a star. She wanna eat lobster and caviar, but we eating Burger King and we fucking the car.
Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. We in the building. You heard? We in the fucking building.
Pull out the rubber. You can't get a dime. It's bad enough open sin trying to take mine. Damn, nigga. A bitch can't even get a pair of shoes.
good to me.
Man, you ain't gonna be able to keep no bitch like that, man.
I'm gonna be good.
I'm telling you, I started out the same way. I mean, even in the project.
You got
Bitch
to
need
be
to pay
good
50
to
for all
me.
that, man. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm gonna be good to you.
I started out like that too. P.R.M.P. Now I buy whatever they want.
What's going on? The good people in the building and a place to be. We're about to start the show real soon, man. You know how we do. We play the classics. We play good music, and then we get right into the show. Let's get it.
These streets remind me of quicksand. Quicksand. When you're on it, you'll keep going down, going down. And there's no one to hold on to, and there's no one to pull you out. You keep on falling, falling. No one can hear you calling. So you end up self-destructing. On the corner with the toolie on the waistline. Just got about the Bing to escape time. Teeth marks on my back from the K9. Dark memories of when there was no sunshine. Cause they said that I would make it. I remember like yesterday, holding on to what God gave me. everything come and go. Even the life that you have is borrowed.
Shout out to the people in the building. Hit the like button, swipe your feet, hit the super chat, cash app, subscribe if you're new. We're gonna get into it. Cocolo Crashout Court TV, Volume 1. Yo, tremendous cases, man. Let's get it.
Whoever said that the struggle would stop today, a lot of niggas dead or locked away. Teenage women growing up with AIDS, cause that's the life when you're living in the ghetto. Oh, eating in the ghetto. Oh, sleeping in the ghetto. That's the life when you're living in the ghetto.
R.I.P. to Mr. Will Millette, the little brother of a woman I used to deal with. He was violently killed. Gun violence. They're saying it was accidental, but it don't sound right because no weapon was found. R.I.P. Roberto Millette. Fellow boxer. Hit that like button, man. We about to get the show started. Y'all love court? You like when they wild out? We about to review it right now.
Took moms to Venice, bought her a $90,000 chandelier with that Murano class. Me and Lake Como. He with wifey. I'm driving the motorboat, getting my rolling.
Yo, the almighty, strictly pop the almighty dollar. No niggas got locked up. Yo, the almighty, strictly pop the almighty dollar. No niggas got locked up. Yo, the almighty, strictly pop the almighty dollar. No niggas got locked up by Kamala. No niggas got a free camera for Trump. Blew it. Started rapping niggas the next month. Bullets blew off his head. Gave my shooter a chest bump. Bad guy. I'm out of Grammy week with my shit. Tuck bad guy. I'm out of Fashion Week with my shit. Where you land, nigga, hit me. Got a brick or a bitch. Got a gun, got a vest. Headshot, lot of mess. I'm proud of myself. 800K on my neck. I'm proud of myself. House I paid $2 million cash. You better pray. You don't want this beam on your ass. King of kings. In all black out the sky like Sting. I live by the ring. 4th row master. Next all in me versus Max Caster. Fuck your guess. Who got the last laughter? My homie from the D called me his baby.
What's going on? G, me and Perez. What up? What's so funny? Queen, you live in Connecticut? What part, Queen Shay? What part?
Still praying.
West Side Gun. Y'all like West Side Gun? Huh?
Virgil, we miss you. Try all you want. You niggas can't do this.
West Side Gun. Que lo que? Nah, we tranqui. We super tranqui. This is the last track and we'll get right into the topic. You heard? Last track.
For more than 100 years, we've kept the mentally sick locked up and hidden away, where we won't have to experience their suffering.
Yeah,
That's all changing.
Yo, I heard these drugs was legal. Catch me wildin' like Bugsy Siegel with the Regal Beagle. Chillin' with Larry, you know my stilo. Bugging out like Steve with Ben Majerus. Some libido got me fucking bitches out of text messages. My sex measurements for pleasure. Be on some extra disrespectful. Mind, you get the worst of it. Come in for me and be the message. Type of copper person shit. I say you dope and tired of tourniquet. I'll probably burn the bitch up the pussy. I ain't concerned with flying by, singing like tell me why. Ain't nothing but a heartache. I drop an album, strictly bargain my tapes. Beg your pardon, son, I'm far from an eighth. Be like a half a brick. Suck at the catalyst and Dallas be in situations.
Yeah, Queen. Okay, I kind of know the area. You kind of by Hartford over there. Manchester.
I keep it peace, sparing you and your man.
If I don't pop, then I'ma dip to Japan, nigga.
I look at it this way. How is the people on the outside gonna know if I'm a patient and creative unless I advertise or unless I start acting crazy?
Y'all niggas hear me send the mic recording. Feel like I'm rambling, though they were gambling. Might lose your family on some Michael Jordan. They say I'm twice as nice when I'm performing. I hit the stage, blow a dime in the haze. Amazing wife's all over the place. Stay the fuck on my way. I move that money.
Yeah, all right. So we'll be talking about certain court cases. The main one is this lady from Connecticut that was a predator. She was a predator. Young lady too.
Yeah, we into shit that get your bitch ass shot. This ain't a video game, nigga. I'm coming for your bitch and your chain. I get my dick in that thing. I have her on the white. She vote for McCain. Yeah, I pull that black hand, nigga. This isn't poker or a joke you stain. I light a candle in the rip in your name. If it was up to me, I'd resurrect the piece of shit and do it again. Yeah.
If a patient gets violent.
If you're new here, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That's how you show love, you heard? And hit that like button.
Got them with the force to give them a needle and lock them up in here till they calm down. Once the steer feels to calm down enough to come out, and they open the door and they let them out.
Carve them into a vicious display. It ain't productive to stay out of the way. I'm bound enterprising. Improvising life.
Yeah, predators, man. Predators comes in all shapes and forms. Predators come in all shapes and forms. You just have to be able to recognize them early. Know what I mean?
It's harder than ground fall. Vortex jackets with more zippers, easy access for all these gats to draw quicker. Voices in my head sending me the wrong message. With malice in my heart telling me to go get it. Fetishes of life, more fetty and nice. Long-term goals, I stack to be ahead of the price. Credited is the vocal cord lord. It's your call, try me and get beat with the head of the mic.
The most gifted.
What's going on, good people? I'm over here. I'm looking for. Okay, right here. Okay, come on, man. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find the videos where I put the video. All right, my bad, y'all. I'm gonna have to find videos individually by name. This is so annoying. Okay. Hold on, y'all. My bad, man. This is my fault. This is my fault. My bad. Fuck. How I'm getting mad because I can't pick up this. How can I not pick up this file? is pissing me off. Like, why can't I, if it's in the laptop, user, desktop. There we go. I got it. I got it, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I finally got it. Now I know how to go through this shit. Oh, this is way easier now. What's good, Rakim? What up? Now I know how to do this. I learned something new today. Let's watch these cases, man. Before I go into the main case, because there's this way of thinking that, only men could be violent and predators. No, women could be predators too. That's going to be the main case. But first, I want to run a few clips for y'all.
That verdict is proper and unanimous. As to count 2, we, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of attempted murder as charged in the indictment. Beginning on the first row. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Sir, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Yes. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Yes. On the back row, sir, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Yes. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Count 3, we, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of tampering with evidence as charged in the indictment. Beginning on the first row. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Sir, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Yes, on the back row, sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? All right. All 3 verdicts appear to be unanimous. The court will enroll the verdict. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, white girl. They think you did it, baby. They people think you did it. Now, let's switch over here to this sexy Latina, whatever she is.
So when considering the aggravating and mitigating circumstances of this case, the court is required to impose a sentence that is sufficient but not greater than necessary. So Ms. Johnson, I will sentence you as follows. As to voluntary manslaughter, I will sentence you to 20 years to serve 10 years in confinement. The first 5 years of those 10 years to be served in prison, and the remaining 5 years to be served as home confinement. The remaining 10 years of the 20-year sentence will be served on probation. Special conditions of the 5 years of home confinement is that you must be fully employed. You can only leave your house for work, medical appointments, school, and for minor children, school appointments, minor children's therapy appointments, and minor children's school-sponsored activities. The hours of your work, school, and medical are only to be between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., and there is to be no one at your home at any time during the duration of your sentence who has a felony conviction. As to count 3, the aggravated assault, it will merge into count 2, voluntary manslaughter by operation of law. As to count 4, aggravated assault, I will sentence you to 10 years to serve, to run concurrent with count 2. As to count 5, the possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, I will sentence you to 5 years to serve consecutive.
Oh, she came over, so she caught a body. She's only gonna do 5 in prison. Yeah, Rick, we know how she looked. So she'll listen. So she doing 5 years for a body. The next 5 years she's gonna do in home confinement, so she could leave for work or school or for things that have to do with her child. And then after that, she'll do 10 years on probation. That's not that bad. Yeah, she did a murder. Yeah, women are evil. Even the beautiful ones. Even the beautiful ones are evil. Facts. Even the beautiful ones. Y'all hit that like button, man.
Suspended. As to count 6, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, with the victim being, I will sentence you to 12 months of probation to run concurrent with count 2. Special conditions of probation is that the minor child is to see a licensed therapist, counselor, or psychologist.
She said something about cruelty to children. Well, goddamn, what the fuck she do?
Just twice a month for 12 months. And that you are to attend and successfully complete parenting classes for 12 months. As to count 7, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, which I will sentence you to 12 months on probation. Conditions of probation, special conditions of probation are that minor child also is to see a licensed therapist, counselor, or psychologist twice a month for 12 months, and that you are to complete parenting classes. I will sentence you under the First Offender Act.
It's crazy, man. Yo, them beautiful, yeah, Rakim, the beautifulest women do the ugliest thing. Yo, them pretty bitches, boy. Oh boy. Shout out to everyone in the building. Hit that like button. Apex, what up?
So in the case State versus Hannah Renee Payne, case number 2019 CR 01737, court has been informed that you have reached a verdict. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, we have.
Okay, and are you the foreperson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, if you kindly stand. Was your verdict unanimous?
Yes, ma'am.
Has a verdict form been filled in, signed, and dated by you?
Yes, ma'am.
If you would have the bailiff bring the verdict form to me, please.
Uh-oh. Did she get smoked?
Mr. Foreperson, if you would go ahead and read the verdict.
With regard to count 1, as to the offense of malice murder, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. With regard to count 2, as to the offense of felony murder, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. With regard to count 3, as to the offense of aggravated assault, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. With regard to count 4, as the offense of felony murder, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. With regard to count 5, as the offense of false imprisonment, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. With regard to count 6, as to the offense of possession of firearm during commission of a felony, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. With regard to count 7, as to the offense of possession of firearm during commission of a felony, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. With regard to count 8, as to the offense of possession of firearm during commission of a felony, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty. Respectfully submitted the 12th day of December 2023.
Oh, this is fresh.
Councils, is there anything further required of this jury before I dismiss them?
If the court can poll the jury.
Okay. I will poll the jury. And so I'm just going to go sequentially and ask you a number of questions to which you will respond. Foreperson? Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Next person. Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that your verdict in the jury room? Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Kill somebody.
Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir? Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next. Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made
Stick
by
a fork in them.
you? Is it still your verdict? Was that your verdict in the jury room?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it freely and voluntarily made by you?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it still your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I have polled the jurors. Ladies and gentlemen, you have now concluded your service on this jury. You're no longer subject to or bound by the instructions that I've previously given to you about not talking to anyone about this case. You're now free to talk to anyone you like about the case and the decision that your jury has reached. By the same token, you're not required to speak with anyone about this case. That is your decision. However, sometimes the attorneys like to talk with you to ascertain your views about the evidence and input from how they could improve. But again, you're not required to speak to anyone about the case. That is purely your decision. Again, thank you for your service and your commitment to your jury duty this week. You are free to go.
I'll be hanging out over here if they'd like to speak.
Right. You'll be outside the
Just
courtroom?
over near the steps.
Okay.
Over the elevator.
She's sad as hell. She's so sad. She's so sad.
You may be seated. Miss Payne, I'm going to remand you into the custody of the Sheriff's Department at this time.
It wasn't worth it, huh? It wasn't worth it, mama. It wasn't worth it.
Look at me, ma'am. He keeps turning. He keeps turning.
Ma'am, I told you once before. Let me please help you understand. Well,
because I can. It's not a crime to smell.
It's not a crime.
Continue what you were saying.
But it doesn't help you, all right, to irritate people.
All right.
And you have a lot at stake in this case.
It's not a crime to smell, is it?
I didn't say you were committing.
Okay then.
I'm saying you're not helping yourself.
Continue what you were saying.
I'm
allowed to smell.
I would suggest you do what helps you, not what hurts you.
Okay.
That's
do what I
all.
want to do.
Well,
Let's
do
get
what
that
you want to
understood.
do. That's fine.
Let's get that understood.
Diabolical. I mean, he already felt like it was over for him. He might as well, right? Talk ish. You know what I mean? Might as well.
God! God!
This is Damon Kemp. He is charged with the double murder of his roommates in Daytona Beach, Florida. Police were called to investigate a burglary at an apartment complex, and it was here Kemp allegedly confessed to the murders. He was originally staying with his two roommates when both individuals were shot several times in the apartment. During Kemp's bond hearing, he's now escorted into court in a wheelchair.
God! 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 God!
The judge tries to get Kemp's attention, but he's completely ignored.
Mr. Kemp?
God!
Damon Kemp. I'm going to conduct your first appearance.
God!
For the victim's family, it got so tough they had to walk out. Kemp is currently in the Volusia County Jail awaiting his trial.
Dads and moms need to hug their children. Because you might get a phone call like we did and you won't get a chance to hear their voice anymore.
I am not sorry for something I didn't do, and I am not sorry for the things I did do.
Mr. O'Neill,
All
I'm
right.
not, listen, stop.
All right.
Listen to me.
I'm not
You're not going to raise your voice again.
I'm
You're
not going to
gonna
raise my
your
voice again. I'm not.
I will have you removed from this courtroom. I can sentence you without you being present.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't conduct
I
yourself.
understand, Your Honor.
Thank you.
But I will say, I'm sorry for your loss.
19 years I've been at this job. I've seen human beings killed at the hands of others in every way imaginable. You name it, I've seen it. Shootings, stabbings, drownings, suffocatings, blown apart by cars, some DUI manslaughter cases, horrible things. This is the worst case I have ever seen as far as the facts go. when the person from fire department, when he testified, and when he said that he retrieved the body of Ronivia O'Neill from the home, and all he could do was sob. It took every ounce I had not to start sobbing too. Because there is no way any person with any feeling could have witnessed or seen the photos of what occurred that night and not be haunted for the rest of your life. I know I will be. For the rest of my life, I'll be haunted by what I saw as far as the evidence and just the abject cruelty of it all.
Do y'all really think that was the worst case she ever seen?
And
Or y'all think she capping?
Because I reviewed a lot of the discovery ahead of time, as you well know, did a lot of in-camera inspection of a lot of documents.
Do y'all really think this was the worst case for her?
When you needed to recover from your gunshot wound, that neither your parents nor your Aisha, Miss Robinson, would let you come recover at their home. I don't know if it's true or not. Okay, I'm not gonna get into a dispute. I'm just mentioning there was some evidence referencing that in the records. And all I can think about, because I knew that Miss Barron was not with you romantically at the time. And I knew that she just out of the goodness of her heart let you come stay with her. And it is beyond tragic that that critical decision ended in so much horror for her and for her children. It is unspeakably cruel what happened as a result of that one decision. The way that Ms. Barron died was horrific, and that 911 call, which captured truly all of it. You heard, and everyone who's heard that 911 call heard a death scream. If anybody ever wants to know what it sounds like before a human being dies, knowing that their death is imminent, that's exactly what it is. That was a death scream.
We're going to see if it's true.
But what happened to little Ranivia?
Oh, he crazy.
Little Ronnie, but I'm going to focus on Ranivia.
You be like,
because she was special. And you could tell Miss Barron had done everything she could to create a beautiful home for her family. I noticed that the Ranivia's bedroom set it on fire. You could tell she tried so hard to make her feel like a princess. Kenyatta did everything she could. And I noticed too in the kitchen on the refrigerator, she put up magnets that said faith, love, family, hope. And then you know what else happened to that refrigerator during that night? It got splattered with blood all over it due to what happened. Little Ranivia, she couldn't scream, she couldn't run away, and she witnessed what you did to her mother as far as shooting her mother in the arm with the gunshot. She knew. And the horror that that child suffered. And she already had a life where she was born with challenges regarding her physical and her mental disabilities. But the pain and suffering that she suffered that night at your hands.
Damn.
Unspeakable. Absolutely unspeakable.
Wow.
And at the moment, that first time you struck her with that hatchet, and little Ronnie testified that all he could see was tears coming out of his sister's face. At that moment, that child knew. She knew she was being betrayed in the cruelest, most tragic and sorrowful way that a child could ever be betrayed. She was being betrayed by her parent, the one person that should be there to protect their children and love them and keep them from harm. And that was the last thing that child felt before she passed on from this earth, was your utter, cruel betrayal to her. And I read somewhere, and I don't know if it's true or not, I have no idea, but I read somewhere that souls pick their lives, and that they know exactly how difficult their lives are going to be before they enter into this world. And I don't know if that's true or not, but if it is, Ranivia O'Neal is one of the bravest souls I have ever come across in my 54 years on this planet. One of the bravest ever.
Damn.
Because she suffered so traumatically.
Wow. What, yo? That's damn. The next one, I'll probably talk about this. Some guy got arrested around the time I was in prison, the first time I was in prison, back in 2011. This guy got arrested for eating a man's brains. He ate them. Like ate his brains. He did like 8 or 9 years locked up. but like in a mental institution. Like some, you know, mental stuff. So for the past couple years, he's been like in a halfway, and they just released him. But the guy had real mental problems though. Crazy. Crazy.
I'm not a bad person. I'm not an evil person. I saw nothing but red, and I don't remember doing anything except for jumping on top of her and doing this to her robe. I was like, why are you doing this to me? And I know that I did not intend to kill Mary Kay Holthus.
On January 3rd, 2024, Deober Redden was facing sentencing in a separate attempted battery case when he was caught on camera launching himself at Clark County District Judge Mary Kay Holthus.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that you give a taste of something else because I just can't with that history. In accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, this court
Hey, whoa, 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 hey,
I saw nothing but red, and I heard her say, I think it's time for a taste of something else. I saw nothing but red, and I don't remember doing anything except for jumping on top of her and doing this to her robe. I was like, why are you doing this to me?
His lawyers had claimed Redden has schizophrenia and was not on medication at the time of the attack, but abruptly ended his trial after Holthus testified that she feared for her life.
He was so determined and so violent and so... It was scary. I didn't think I could get out of it.
Yeah, boy, you out of here, bro.
I'm not making excuses for my actions. I'm saying I'm not a bad person, and I know that I did not intend to kill Mary Kay Holthus.
Deober Redden will now serve between 26 to 65 years in prison for the attack. With credit for time served, Redden would be eligible for parole in the 2050s.
I'm not a bad person. I'm not an evil person.
Nigga, for trying to beat a judge? Yo, they had to, you know what it was, yo? They had to make an example out of him, right? Because they can't have that. The courts can't have that. Oh, someone that bold to attack a judge? Yeah, they can't have that. They want to let other felons know and other people, oh, you try to attack a judge, you get smoked. Pow! They had to make an example. They had to. They had to make an example out of him. He all set. He all set. It's over. Stick a fork in him. I got one more. I think I have one more video clip, and then we're gonna go right into the main main topic or the main case. Right, this right here.
Rip you limb from limb and discard you like trash.
Have y'all heard of the 16-year-old boy who raped a girl so bad that he blinded her and paralyzed her? His victim was Queena, who was also a high school student at the time. She was dropping off books at the Bloomingdale Regional Public Library, and Morris decided to attack her. Morris dragged Queena around the building, and he violently raped and beat her. Queena is now unable to swallow, to walk, to talk, or function on her own. So what's really odd is that Queena was on the phone and she felt the weird vibes because he was sitting on a bench across from the library. He was staring her down and she was telling her friends like, look, this guy is creepy. I'm ready to just return the books and go back. As she was walking back, her friends heard her screaming on the phone. So one of them made a frantic phone call to 911, and they also rushed to the scene where they saw there was blood trails everywhere. Her phone also was snapped in half and partially under the car. Now you may be wondering what happened to Morris.
Yeah, man, should be real. Should be real.
Let me tell you how life been recently.
Static selector.
Hold on, let me tell you how life been recently. I gotta look for the main event. The main video. Hold on.
Took moms to Venice. Bought her a $90,000 chandelier with that Murano class. Me and Lake Como. He with wifey. I'm driving the motorboat, getting motorboated.
Yo, the almighty, strictly pop the almighty dollar. No niggas got locked up. Yo, the almighty, strictly pop the almighty dollar. No niggas got locked up. Yo, the almighty, strictly pop the almighty dollar. No niggas got locked up by Kamala. No niggas got a free comma for Trump. Blew it. Started rapping niggas the next month. Bullets blew off his head. Gave my shooter a chest bump, bad guy. I'm out of Grammy week with my shit. Tuck bad guy. I'm out of Fashion Week with my shit. When you land, nigga hit me. Got a brick or a bitch. Got a gun, got a vest. Headshot, lot of mess. I'm proud of myself. 800K on my neck. I'm proud of myself. House I paid $2 million cash. You better pray. You don't want this beam on your ass. King of kings. In all black out the sky like Sting. I live by the ring. Fourth row master. Next all in me versus Max Caster. Fuck y'all, guess who got the last laughter? My homie from the D call me his baby cause it's mad love. Trench on black Bottega gloves, black snub. St. Regis in my towel, get in the back rub. Superfly,
Still praying, still praying.
You already know what it is, man. We in the building, hit the
Virgil,
like
we miss you.
15 people in the building, hit the super chat, cash app. Let's get it. Shout out to Bob Kim for the song request. What's going on with y'all, man? We about to play the main event, the main video. Y'all remember the song right here?
These streets remind me of quicksand. When you're on it, you'll keep going down. And there's no one to hold on to, and there's no one to pull you out. You keep on falling, no one can hear you calling, so you end up self-destructing. On the corner with the toolie on the waistline, just got about the Bing doing state time. Teeth marks on my back from the K9. Dark memories of when there was no sunshine, cause they said that I wouldn't make it. I remember like yesterday, holding on to what God gave me, cause that's the life when you're living in the and eating in the sleeping in the that's the life when you're living in the and eating in the sleeping in the ghetto. No need to cherish luxuries, cause everything come and go. Even the life that you have is borrowed, cause you're not promised tomorrow. So live your life as if every day's gonna be your last. Once you move forward, can't go back, just pretend to remove your past. Cause you gotta be willing to pray. Yes, there gotta be a better way. Oh, yes, you gotta be willing to pray, cause there gotta be a better day. Yeah. Whoever said that the struggle would stop the day, a lot of niggas dead or locked away. Teenage women growing up with AIDS, cause that's the life when you're living in the eating in the sleeping in the ghetto. That's the life when you're living.
You know the vibes, man. Hit the like button. Shout out to y'all. If y'all have any of y'all peoples who've been locked up, you ever been locked up, any fallen soldiers, RIP to them, or anyone who is a victim to street violence.
Got kids to feed and selling coke and weed and every day somebody bleeding that's the life.
Who made that beat? That ain't a Traxter beat. Nigga, this a Trax beat.
Shout out to Rakim, killing season.
Yeah. Day and night we riding around with the pipes. Yeah. In the field, off a pill, doing drill out of strike. Trying to get us killed, nigga, don't be stopping at the lights. Yeah. Ain't nobody outside, spin again when you get up here, bustin' right. Yeah. Get your nose wiped, nigga, don't try me.
If you gonna be outside, be careful.
Slime out your whole family here.
Be careful.
They bloodthirsty, they so grimy. That when I drive, I don't let no nigga sit behind me. In a steam up 290 with a tank full of gas. They ain't worried about no get back, why they ain't wear masks. They ain't built like that, no, they ain't finna crash. Hey, on that car, I told Shorty get up close, aim for the glass. It's killer season. Motherfuckers get stretched out for the littlest reason. When the smoke clear, all you see is your niggas bleeding. It's wartime, get back door for committing treason. Egg like I got came with a switch and red dots. Trenches look like a ghost town cause the fair's hot. Yeah, they on your ass, I told you about this and dead ops. But anyway, tell your man I say I'm paying top dollar for headshots. Yeah, 223, shoot through trees. Blick the motor, K's flipping over SUVs. Yeah, fall guys that be sliding like ball ties. Yeah, shot them up so many times that his coat caught fire. To my cowboys passing out toys like Santa Claus. Told Shorty get out there and pop any op that he ran across. You ain't no demon, don't lie to me. I was there when you caught your first body shaking like a leaf. It's killer season. Motherfuckers get stretched out for the littlest reason. When the smoke clear, all you see is your niggas bleeding. It's wartime, get back door for committing treason. It's killer season. Motherfuckers get stretched out for the littlest reason. When the smoke clear, all you see is your niggas bleeding. It's wartime, get back door for committing treason.
All right, so I found it right here. I found the main video right here. Shout out to y'all in the building. Okay, so let me look this up. This is out of New Haven, Connecticut. Let me share the screen. Okay, before we start playing the video, let me read a couple of the comments. Lovely Mix, what's up? He got hops. You say he gonna have to have hops his way over them wells, damn. Walls, what? Oh my God, I remember this case. Oh wow, his mommy on Twitter fighting with Dominicans. Wait, who's mommy? Who you talking about? So Akon be in New Jersey and ringside with Mike Tyson. I know his brother Abu. Word. Classic. Famous women. Black Royal. let's talk about this woman predator from New Haven, Connecticut. She looks Puerto Rican or black and Puerto Rican or whatever. Let's find out.
So are you implying that why were you getting paid?
From bringing her to and from places.
So
whatever.
you're telling us that you were getting paid to drive her places.
Right.
But you were not setting up these meetings for
No.
men to have sex with this child.
Right. She had her own people. So when I would bring her, she'll basically pay me money for bringing her wherever I was bringing her.
Right. We're all gonna buy that. You know, where I'm from, they call you a madam. Quite a sophisticated word for a female, right? But driving around underage relatives for your financial gain. Then taking no accountability while locked up, getting many, many, many write-ups while locked up, or as they call them in Connecticut, tickets. Quite a long record of offenses while in Connecticut. But let's see what this parole board does. Let's see how they treat this woman who was only sentenced charge of injury or risk of injury to a minor, a maximum sentence of 4 years. The date of the sentence was 12/18/2023. So, gosh, she hasn't even been locked up a year at the time of this parole hearing. Ain't that just odd? But remember, it's just children, right? Not that important. I'll unpack it with what details we have.
Ebony Thomas, 424-920.
Thank you. This hearing is being conducted in consideration of a parole application for Ebony Thomas, inmate number 424-920. She's serving a sentence of 10 years, suspended after 4 years with 5 years probation for risk of injury. As of today, records reflect the parole eligibility date of April 7th, 2024. There is no victim report in the case. There's an offender accountability plan that has been reviewed and shows that the offender is currently participating in the short-term sex offender program. Utilizing the Women's Rights Assessment Board, the offender's overall score for recidivating falls within the moderate range. Ms. Thomas, this is your opportunity to tell the board why you believe you should grant parole. You may begin.
So in the beginning, when I first had got incarcerated, I was very in denial about the case. I didn't want to take accountability for it. I felt like I did nothing wrong. After months of being incarcerated, I had time to sit with myself and come to conclusion that my part in it was as bad as it seemed, and I took accountability for it. Obviously, like being sober, it was more so I focused more so on what I did wrong. At the time when the event happened, I obviously wasn't sober. So I feel like I just wasn't being an adult about the situation and owning up to what I did wrong. Since then, I've been in here. I feel like it was a good thing for me to come in here because being out there could have been a worse situation. The 27th will be 2 years I've been in here. So I've did a lot of programming. I've been in school since I've been here. I was in GED at first, and then they just switched me over to high school diploma. So when I first came in, I had 4 credits. I'm now on 10 credits. I've got a certificate from finishing business ed because that was one of the classes I was taking this semester. And I've just honestly been staying out the way to myself and just trying to focus on the right things.
Okay, thank you. We have some questions for you, okay? When we're done, we'll deliberate and give you our decision. Okay, so you said you came out of...
So this whole time, this is like a parole hearing. So this is for her to be able to be released early out of prison.
Your denial a month after being incarcerated?
Like a couple months after.
Okay, except you had an interview with the parole officer last month.
Yep.
And you still denied committing your offense.
No,
All right.
I know that
I'll just ask you flat out, what are you responsible for? What is your part in this crime?
Basically being the one who was allowing what the situation was to go on. Basically bringing back and forth the victim to and from places, pretty much.
To and from places for what reason? What places?
Wherever she needed to go, she was basically going to meet different guys.
Okay, so your part in it was you were the driver?
Yeah.
And did you know where she was going?
Not
what
all
she
the
was planning to
time.
do?
Not all the time. And
What does
then
that mean,
after
not all the time? We're going to have an open, honest, and frank discussion here.
So in the beginning, she wasn't telling me where I was taking her. After months, when she started coming back with the money, that's when she was telling me what she was doing. But me at that time, I wasn't like thinking about the consequences or like the risk or anything. I was more so just taking the money to like provide for me and what I was doing at that time, which I was doing Percocets and stuff like that. So like I wasn't really sitting there thinking about the whole situation.
So are you implying that, why were you getting paid?
From bringing her to and from places.
So
like whatever.
you're telling us that you were getting paid to drive her places.
Right.
But you were not setting up these meetings for men to have sex with this child.
Right. She had her own people. So when I would bring her, she'll basically pay me money for bringing her wherever I was bringing her.
And that's your only involvement.
Right.
Uh-oh.
So in your interview with the parole officer, you denied any knowledge of the victim's actions after you dropped them off at their destination. Do you recall that?
No.
You don't recall saying that?
Oh, shit.
No.
Last month?
Bitch, they got this on paperwork.
I mean, it appears that you're I mean, I want to say coming around, but I don't even know that that's a good enough term. But are you done with the short-term sex offender program?
Yeah, I finished that about like 3 or 4 months ago now.
Right. Okay, I do have that September 14th. What did you learn from that program?
Basically, putting myself in the victim's shoes and seeing how she felt about the whole situation. And basically, it was more so like they would describe situations, different situations, and like we would have to sit there and put what we would have did and what we wouldn't have did. Basically, stuff like that.
Okay. Have you read your police report?
No.
Okay. So how would you explain that your phone number and email address were linked to these prostitution advertisements and meeting setups with different men? How would you explain that?
Because they weren't using their phones. They were using my phone because they were in relationships.
Oh, man, it's over. It's over. You're getting denied. You was already out there doing the sick shit, selling these girls off. And now you don't know nothing. I mean, I get it. You gotta deny it left and right. I get it. But they know you're lying. They're not stupid.
So they didn't want their partners to see what they were doing. So they would use my phone. I had multiple phones.
Okay, but you would know what people were saying on your phone, no?
That was for them. That phone was for them to use. I had my own personal phone. My personal phone.
For who to use?
For the victim. So like, that was her phone under my line because I had a phone
Why would
for
you
her.
pay for her to have a phone?
Because that's my baby father's niece and we all had a family plan.
Okay, and what about your email address? How do you explain that your email address being used to place these advertisements?
My email address is linked to all my phones. That's just where all my emails go to.
Oh, so you're saying these children were posting with your email address advertisements?
Yeah, because you said it was up there, correct?
Boy. All right, so you have 12. I'll move on because I'm not sure what you're taking responsibility for. You started off with you're taking responsibility, but it's very clear that you continue to deny your offense behaviors. And why would your victims, why would these young girls say that you were helping them to prostitute themselves or setting it up? Actually, why would they say that?
So one of the victims I know is the niece of my daughter's father. So me and her she was living with me at the time. She was doing whatever she was doing with somebody else. And she had started living with me. That's when she had asked me at first, can you start taking me places? I said, yeah. I wasn't asking her because I didn't care. I know that she's always going different places. And then
going different places. You know what that girl be doing. You know what that girl be doing. taking her different places. What kind of places? And that's your baby daddy's niece. She said, the father of my child's niece. So basically like your step niece or whatever. Your niece-in-law. Basically your niece, man. Who's to say if you would have started doing that for your daughter? Right? She probably did it for her daughter. Who knows what she did towards her daughter? But my thing is, there's no way all this is going on and people around them don't know what's going on. What's going on? There's no way that there's people around her that they didn't know. There was a bunch of people that know. Family members, friends, neighbors, they know what's going on. They don't care. They just mind their business. People knew. People knew.
After a while,
this sounded like a whole operation.
when she had started bringing back home a lot of money, that's when my baby father was telling me, okay, ask her like what she's doing. So then that's when I asked her, and then that's when I came to conclusion. But like I said, I wasn't paying attention. I was always high. So me sitting there like allowing it to happen, that's what I was basically like.
But why would they say that you were setting these meetings up?
Oh, I don't know. One of them said that, the other one tried to make her say that it was me when it wasn't. So she told them that like she took accountability. I didn't have anything to do with that. And then the one that is obviously got me in here is the one that's saying I made her.
Got me in here. You got yourself in there. Nobody got you in there. Yeah. Okay, so you have no explanation for why they would point the finger at you.
I mean, the only thing I could think of was bringing them to and from places. But other than that, I don't talk to the guys. So
no. But okay, yeah.
Yeah, you're all set. You're not going home.
So are you still married now?
Yes.
And your husband had no idea that you were incarcerated?
No, not at the beginning. I didn't want nobody to know.
Where did he think you were?
Home with my mom, because that's where I was at the time. I was back and forth. And then at my own place, I had got my own apartment. And then as soon as I got my own apartment, right after, so I had posted bond on this case. I was on a GPS bracelet. I had a set curfew for 6:30. I kept violating it within my work schedules and then bringing the kids back and forth to the babysitters. So then came back in here. So when I had got rearrested, he didn't know what I was like, where I was at all. And I told my mom not to tell him.
Wow. So why did you finally tell him?
Because I mean, it's been 2 years now. So I had to end up telling him where I was. And then when he found out where I was, he wanted to come up here and visit me. But I still didn't really want him or my kids coming up here because this is just not a place for them to come.
Sounds like there's a lot of work to be done, Ms. Thomas. And I really don't know how I can help you because I don't even know where to start. It's hard to talk to you about an offense when you're in fact not taking responsibility for it and you seem to have an excuse for everything. How about all these tickets? You have 12 tickets, 2 years, and they're pretty serious.
Yeah, they're all fighting.
Tickets.
They're not all fighting. There's a false information, there's a contraband, there's a security tampering. There are some fighting. But how do you explain all that?
So in the first year when I had got here, it wasn't really good. I was, like I said, I was mad at the world. So I was getting into a lot of problems with the girls. This one girl and after this situation, I had got burned with hot water on my chest. After that situation, I just kept on getting into fights. She has a lot of people in here. So after that, it was just like problem after problem. And then I calmed down around a certain time frame. That's when I started going back to school because I had stopped after a while. I started going back to school, staying out the way. And then the false information one was from school because I needed to leave because I had got a surgery done here. And basically with medical problems, and I didn't want to sit there and tell them my privacy. So I got in trouble for lying, saying I was going back to the unit to talk to the counselor.
I wasn't asking for details because we have those, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I was asking you why you're getting all these tickets. We see people who do not get these tickets. So I think you provided an explanation. I don't know. But do you think you've calmed down since then? Your last fighting ticket was in July.
Yeah, I beat that ticket. That was
Beat that ticket. Okay.
Yeah, because when I talked to the social worker, she said there was a ticket up there that was showing, but I had beat that ticket because I never fought back.
So you did not beat that ticket, and that's not the term we use. You were found not guilty of one in September. You were.
Okay, that's the one.
Right. I'm not. I didn't even mention that one. I'm talking about the July one that you were found guilty of, and you lost privileges for. All right. Well, you have 5 years probation to follow your sentence. I would strongly recommend that you take advantage of that time. Any services and programming they have to offer you, you'll be required to do programming anyhow. But you know, I hope that you learned something from this incarceration and that you can move on and be successful in life. I'm going to hand it over to my colleagues. Ms. Zappo.
I think you asked most of the questions. I am curious. You have a 10-year-old and a 4-year-old.
Yes.
Are they boys, girls?
I have 2 girls.
Okay. So are you going to let family members give them rides like you've given rides to family members?
Absolutely not.
Damn.
And have you seen them? What kind of parenting have you been doing from prison?
I talk to them every day. I've still been trying to get their visiting forms to come through, but my mom, she had like a record from a while ago, so she's not able to bring them up here, and I don't have DCF or anything like that for them to come up here. So, but I talk to them every day. Me and my mom share custody of my oldest one because I had her at 14. So me and my mom have her, and then my baby is with her father and his mom.
I don't have any other questions. Mr. Paul.
No, thank
you. Okay. All right, give us a few minutes to deliberate, and we'll get back to you shortly with our decision. All right, so Ms. Thomas, while she did complete the short-term sex offender program, I'm not sure what she gained from it. In addition, she received 12 serious disciplinary reports, continues to deny committing this offense.
She's flicking shit off her
I just, you know, I didn't know where to go with the questioning, and I'm not sure how I can help her, so I couldn't possibly support granting parole today. This is a very serious offense where young girls are being prostituted and advertised on the internet for sex. So it will be a denial for me today. Ms. Zappo?
I think that there's been poor institutional adjustment and lack of program, and I've not seen as much evidence of offender change as I would have liked. So I'm a no for today as well.
Ms. Paul? I think the nature and circumstance is important. Inadequate offender change is fine. The program, she took the program, she just didn't really change from it. Poor institutional adjustment, certainly. All right, in the matter of Ebony Thomas, inmate number 424920, I'll move to deny parole for the following reasons. The nature and circumstance of this offense, inadequate evidence of offender change, and poor institutional adjustment as evidenced by the disciplinary reports. Is there a second? All in favor? Aye. All right, unfortunately, Ms. Thomas, we could not grant you parole today, but we wish you the best. You have 5 years of probation to follow your sentence.
Okay.
She already knew.
Wow, that was nice for a change. That was.
Her body ain't nice enough. Yo, she knew already what it was. You have 12 disciplinary reports. 12 disciplinary reports in 2 years. That's a lot. That's a naughty girl. That's way more than me. As a young boy, I didn't catch that many. These 6 months I did, I didn't catch not one ticket. I don't know how, but I didn't catch not one ticket. I was close. But in 6 months, I didn't catch not one ticket. Super difficult. In prison, not to catch one ticket, that's like when you're in prison, you break the rules and a correctional officer writes you up. I didn't catch not one. Miraculously. Let's continue with this video. I'll drop the link soon if anyone wants to join.
Nice to see someone denied parole. I mean, could you imagine how she could have flunked her parole hearing any worse than she did? But it's just strange with these Connecticut parole hearings because you see hearings throughout the day, and sometimes they crash and burn in the parole hearing and they're given a denial, and sometimes they crash and burn, but they're not given a denial. And it's quite funny, actually, how it is that she talked about this parole hearing. And it was so confusing. What was she saying? Well, it was my baby daddy's niece. So I put it into my chat GPT thing. Actually, I use Claude for my AI because I was like, what does that mean? And I mean, what it means is that it's her daughter's first cousin. Like, I don't know why you have to make it so like convoluted and confusing. Well, I was just driving around my baby daddy's niece. You mean your daughter's first cousin, your children's first cousin? I mean, wouldn't that make you
the aunt?
Their aunt?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it make her your niece? Like, I don't.
Well, he's disconnected. He doesn't understand.
But maybe, I guess not, if you're not tied through marriage. I don't know how that works. But can you imagine that you're driving around a girl, we don't know her age, but she's a madam, she's a pimp. She's driving them around. She's giving them a phone, using her email and contact information to set up ads, dropping them off at the location, and getting them money for it. And it's just crazy that she sits there, stating like, "Oh, I had no idea. I had really no clue. I was just being a good, person driving people around. She's paying me like an Uber. No, duh. I mean, of course, this is a completely normal Uber-like relationship." And it's just, you clown, you absolute clown. And what's her record have? I don't know. Let me see. There's Sir Richard Fines, and again, there's no news articles on this exact crime. There's nothing, because it's just a child, and her charge is risk of injury to a child. She got a maximum of 4 years. Her maximum release date is April 8th, 2026. So she has assault 3rd degree in 2017. She has reckless endangerment. She has criminal trespass, violation of probation. And then she finally has this risk of injury to a child in 2020. It says arrested in 2021. Sentenced on 12/18/2023, 10 years jail, executed, suspended after 4 years with 5 years probation. And she's like, I don't know. She was just giving me the money. I had no idea. Wow. Like, you really think everyone around you are just a bunch of idiots? And the funny thing is when she goes to the parole interview, and she states in the interview a completely different story. And we see that often. It's quite interesting how little they think about. You're about to go in a pre-parole hearing process, and you're going to tell someone something. Do you not think that maybe she's going to share what you told with her to the parole board? But we see it happen so often. And also what that means is, like, the person who's coming up for the parole hearing, they're not even investigating with their friend. Hey, buddy, friends, what's the best process to get through this parole hearing? What should I say to you? I just feel like it's just whatever. I'll just go through it. It's like the criminal mind that's trying to just go through the process. I mean, what's it take to sell your really, I guess, nieces, or your at the very least your child's first cousin to men for money, and then take that money? And then, it was even that's like slip. She said, well, is that other child's the one who put me in prison? They're like, no. You put yourself in prison.
No accountability.
Or the fact that the new parole board member who stated, would you allow other people to just drive your kids around? That was a mic drop. Yeah,
that was a mic drop.
They're just like, what was it? These like distant relatives, your baby mother's nieces, second cousins once they move, but here's a phone, you put me under the family plan, here's an email address that you happen to use. I'm such a good person, I'm driving you around, just little old me. I had no idea they were selling their bodies to strangers for money, and I was taking it. Oh, silly me. You should get extra time just for that. And that's what also makes you wonder, like, these plea deals, they're happening in a vacuum behind closed doors, where the judge, where the DA is like, well, she only has like 3 prior felonies on her record. And I don't even know if they're felonies. She only has this arrest, and take it easy on her, judge. And the judge is like, okay, but like all you have to do is have a conversation with her to realize that, man, she's learned nothing. She's taken no accountability, and it shouldn't make a difference that she's a woman. If she was a man, I think she might have gone more time. Before doing this parole hearings, I would say for certain, but we've seen everything. We've seen the worst. We're actually about to watch the parole hearing of now a woman who actually did the act, who did the deed herself. Wasn't just selling. So let's see how they treat her.
So yeah, I mean, definitely when it comes to pimping, pandering, trafficking children, a man is gonna get way more time. And I've noticed that for a fact.
And I wish I had more information to share with you. But
and the scary part is that in these situations, the women have more access to these little girls or all these females, these women have the access because no one would ever guess that of a woman doing that to children. Nah, there's no way.
Don't, because again, it's just children. So with that, let's jump in.
It's an impact I should have, as an adult, I didn't set the boundaries that should have been set initially when I saw that the relationship between the juvenile and myself were becoming more too personal. I felt that I was getting through to the victim. He was relating to me. I didn't draw the line when they began to call me auntie or when they began to look up to me as an authoritative figure. I
don't think they looked at you as an authoritative figure because they wouldn't ask an authoritative figure for alcohol or any contact. That's not what an authoritative figure provides. But I'm going to redirect you because you're getting away from my question. Who did your offense impact?
We are about to watch the parole hearing for a woman who I consider to be one of the most dangerous that we cover. Now, part of this is because it seems that the system still does not view them for what they are, which is a dangerous predator. It was only on October 11th, 2023, that she was sentenced for full-on SA of a child between the age of 13 and 16.
Oh, she great.
She was only arrested on February 22nd, 2023 for this act. So if you can imagine, it has been a year since the date of sentencing, and she is already up for parole. Now, she was given a 30-month sentence for this. So again, ready to get out before the ink is dry, with 10 years probation and 10 years to be on the registry. Now, let's see if this woman takes accountability. Let's see how the parole board handles it. They really don't go into the information of this act, but it seems that it's possible that she was a relative of the victim, but I'm not 100% clear on that. I'll share whatever details she was able to find at the end. With that, let's jump in.
Tiana Little, 441077.
Thank you. This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Tiana Little, inmate number 441077. She is serving a sentence of 10 years suspended after 30 months with 10 years probation for sexual assault second. As of today, reference to parole eligibility date of November 24th, 2024. There is no victim input in the case. There is a offender accountability plan that is reviewed and showed she has completed Tier 2 and the short-term sex offender program. Utilizing the women's risk needs assessment, one of the offender's overall score for recidivating falls within the moderate range. Ms. Little, this is your opportunity to tell the board why you believe you should be granted parole. You may begin.
Well, I had prepared a statement. I hope the board had received it. Honestly, I really took this year to. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I apologize. Real quick. The utilizing the women's risk needs assessment, the offender's overall score is low range, not moderate. Thank you.
I took this year to reflect. I'm actually grateful for this year that I've had. I needed to refocus, redirect my life, the decisions I was making, the path that I was on. I took advantage of every resources I had here while at York. I've enrolled myself. I self-educated myself. I went to every peer counseling. I went to every group meeting. I received my CDL here. So really, I took in this time, this full year, to just totally reflect on what happened, what occurred. I'm 45 years old. And I've never had a problem with the legal system. And I was spiraling. I will admit that I was spiraling. What I've learned is that to take responsibility for the actions and for the things that I've done is acknowledging and the ability to respond to what I've done. So I responded and I sought the therapy that I need. I'm still ongoing therapy. I'm going to be a lifelong learner. I've never had a problem with the criminal justice system. Matter of fact, I'm educated in the justice system, which is why it's very ironic why I just spiraled. It was just a bad decision in my life, but I'm ready. I'm refocused. I have a host of family support. I already am signed up with CCAR. I do have therapy that will occur when I'm here. I do have a career to fall back on. I've had numerous careers. So where I should decide as far as employment, I have many options. I have a sponsor, Jennifer Reed, who I've been talking to, who's waiting for me upon release. Upon release, I will be going with my daughter. I would like to reestablish my relationship with my children, continue therapy on myself, and just redirect my path.
So this is my question, right? In situations like this, would you take your family member back into your household? Would you take your auntie, your titi, your grandma, your cousin, your mama. Like, or do you just ignore them and she ends up being homeless? Like, what I can't even fathom that being a woman in my family. But what do you do? She wasn't pimping them girls out. No, she was doing the act. Little boy, little girl, who knows, right? It sounds like there was more than one occasion, more than one circumstance, more than one victim. How do you receive, right? She looked like your auntie, your cool auntie that love cooking.
And my focus into life.
All right, Ms. Little, thank you for your statement. We do have questions for you, and when we're done, we'll deliberate. Okay. So you, as you said, you're not a young person, right? You're an adult. You have adult children, in fact, of your own. You're educated. You've never been in trouble before, but you obviously knew what you were doing was wrong. So I'm interested in knowing how you got to that point. Like, why did you do this?
At the time, I won't totally blame alcohol because it was my decision to drink, but I was at a spiral in my life, and alcohol was just my morning, noon, and night. It was my Band-Aid, it was my camouflage, and of course, it led me to make extremely poor decisions. I come from an alcoholic family on my father's side, and that's something that I said I would never do, but I ended up self-medicating. I'll be honest, I ended up self-medicating instead of seeking real therapy. And the way I grew up and in my family, going to see a therapist was a faux pas. It was something you don't do, something that was frowned upon. It was a sign of weakness. So that's how I grew up. I'm 45, like I said. So therapy wasn't an option. We were keep your business suppressed, deal with it on your own. So that's what I've learned to do as a growing up. But when I became of age to begin to work and take accountability, I began to start seeking that outside therapy, seeking outside resources to help me cope, to help me deal with life's pressures. I'm also a victim of abuse, and to become an abuser, it's just, I can't give you a definitive answer. All I can say is I did it. If I could change time, I would totally make that decision over. I would have sought help immediately when I felt that my drinking had become a problem. I didn't do that. I waited until it was the point of no return.
Okay. So you didn't take the Voices program, or I don't think you did. You didn't, right?
Well, I've been on that program since I've been enlisted here. I was told that there's a long wait list.
Okay.
I even have statements where they said I'd probably be paroled or in a halfway house before I'm even offered that. But everything else I took advantage.
I understand, but okay, so you haven't taken the program. But what have you learned about who your offense impacted?
I learned I took the sexual behavior therapy course with Dr. Shuffle. It's an extreme impact. It's an impact I should have, as an adult, I didn't set the boundaries that should have been set initially when I saw that the relationship between the juvenile and myself were becoming more too personal. I felt that I was getting through to the victim. He was relating to me. I didn't draw the line when they began to call me auntie, or when they began to look up to me as an authoritative figure. I
don't think they looked at you as an authoritative figure, because they wouldn't ask an authoritative figure for alcohol or any sexual contact. That's not what an authoritative figure provides. But I'm going to redirect you because you're getting away from my question. Who did your offense impact?
You want the name of the victim?
No, in general.
Oh,
okay,
it affected my victim, of course, my children. No, my children, my family, but most importantly, it affected me.
In fact, I mean, you betrayed the trust of so many people. So that the place where you were working, those children's parents, I mean, they're a lot, the community at large. Voices would teach you that the impact, it's a ripple effect.
I understand that.
Okay.
I understand that. I take full accountability and responsibility, like I said.
Yeah. So what are your plans? You mentioned job opportunities. Where do you plan to work?
Well, prior to coming here, I've had like I said, I'm very educated. I planned on returning back to funeral services. But since I've been here, I did take the CDL driving course. I would like to pursue that career, but I also have education in catering, criminal justice, administration.
So do you have a job waiting? I guess I'm asking you specifically. Where do you plan to work?
I plan to return to the funeral home service that I was in before I got here.
Okay, and what do you do there?
I'm a greeter.
Okay, and they're willing to give you your job back?
Well, as far as when I left, yes.
Okay, all right. And what type of programming or treatment do you think you need in the community?
In the community, of course, I'm going to continue to be involved with my local church. I'm already signed up for CCAR. Jennifer Reed is my sponsor there. I plan on doing that. I want to do some more self therapy within my community. So that's something I will have to look into. I'm not sure what's available now. I've been here for over 15 months. I've had therapy before, but it was more so rehabilitation therapy as far as alcoholism and things like that. But I need some more reflective therapy.
And what about treatment for problem sexual behavior?
I think I would probably pursue that as well. I would like to hear.
It would be one of your conditions.
Oh, that's fine.
It would be required.
I have no problem with that.
But do you think you could benefit from it?
I think I will. Absolutely.
Okay. Are your children aware of the complete circumstances of your offense?
Wow.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
With the exception of my 11-year-old, he doesn't know the in-depth details of that, but he does know why I'm here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you for speaking with me. I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Ms. Apple. Thank you.
That's embarrassing.
So in my estimation, you've had some statements and you've addressed some of them here today, but one that stuck with me in your interview, Ms. Little, is that you said you were drinking up until the time you were incarcerated and that you were not in need of treatment because you, quote, it was a mistake and it never happened before. Alcohol played a role in it and I should have known better. I mean, I think your offense is greater than just a simple lapse of judgment and that you should have known better. It's far reaching and it affected a minor. It affected their family. There's emotional damage there. So I know that you too perceive yourself as a victim, but there's multiple other victims based on your actions. And I'm concerned about the risk factor of you going back into the community and not being adequately able to manage those risks. Treatment is great, but I think you need more than just that. I think that you need to have a pretty strong support system. And I'd like you to talk a little bit about what the role of your family is and what that release plan looks like once you get back into the community.
Well, my family consists, I have a very, very extremely large family. I'm the baby of, the youngest of 3 siblings. One of my sisters has 11 children and grandchildren. My other sister has a child and grandchildren. I have 4 children. So I have over 40 people in my immediate family. I really don't, outside of my immediate family, I don't communicate with my other family, extended family, which live in the state of New Jersey. Like I said, I've reached out to seek therapy with Jennifer Reed, she's been very active since May. I talk to her on a tablet on a weekly basis. She's there for me and will assist me in my reentry plan. I also completed the 5 Ventures since I've been here. The 5 Ventures is an entrepreneurship program which will help me regain employment, housing, and assistance that I need to reestablish myself as a returning citizen. I totally have the backbone of my church family, my religious organizations, which I did, was not active as I should have at the time of the offense. So I'm prepared. I have resources. Like I said, I don't plan to end my therapy here. I'm still in therapy. I still go to group. I don't plan to end that. I think I'm going to be continued in that. I think that's something that everybody needs. So I do plan on seeking the continual sexual abuse therapy, not only for my victim and understanding my victim, but also I'm an adult. I'm not going to call myself a victim anymore because that happened when I was a child, but I know what my actions had the effect on another person. And I really would like to learn more about how this can be prevented. Why did I even, I really cannot tell you why I did it. All I can determine now is what do I do from here? It happened, it occurred. How do I correct this behavior? Is this a behavior that will continue to happen? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But why? And preventative therapy, that's what I want to seek for myself. I just want to continue therapeutic for my own mental health and well-being, as well as my family.
So one of the challenges that I think you're going to face is the no contact with minors, which will most likely be part of a conditional release. So you've talked about your church, you've talked about your family with nephews and nieces. That's going to be something that you're going to have to navigate and reach out and ask for support and guidance from your probation and parole systems. And do you feel like you're going to be comfortable to be able to do that?
Yes, actually, I'm not sure if you are aware, I did file a motion, which I...
No contact with minors. So you can't be around little. So how does that work? So you're out in public. You out in public, and a little kid walks by. Would you have to walk away from the kid? So what if a little kid is running, gets away from their parent, and they're about to cross the street where cars are flying by? You can't go and grab that kid. Like, you can't go to an amusement park because there's gonna be kids there. You can go to the park. You can't go to the beach. That's sad as hell. How does that even work? How do they determine that? You know?
I was just granted that I can have supervised visitation with my biological my grandson. That was just awarded from the courts last month. But we did address because I have a large family, and the judge did say I will be able to come back. He wants to see how I do while I'm out and see how the conditions will be. But as far as my son and my grandson, that's contact. And as far as my role as with my family being it so large, it will always be supervised. My sisters both agree that they will be the middle person.
You understand conditions of parole are very different from court orders.
Yes, I understand that.
So if we give you a condition that you can't have contact with minors, it doesn't matter what the court said. Those are different. You understand that?
Yes, but I am allowed to see my grandson. I am allowed to see my child. If your parole officer
says you can't, then you can't.
Oh yes, I understand that, but that's why I'm going through these steps to make sure it's okay.
Right, but what I'm telling you is if we tell you here today it's not okay, then you can't. The court order does not override parole conditions. I want you to know they're very separate processes.
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry.
Okay, I'm done.
Oh, okay, thank you. Mr. Paul.
It sounds like they don't like her.
I think what I want to explore a little further is what your recovery plan looks like.
My recovery plan? Well, I've no longer been drinking. I haven't been in contact with anyone. I just plan on continuing to seek therapy, continue to raise my child, I have to reestablish myself. I have to get an apartment. I have to get employment.
Let's dial it back a little bit. What is your recovery plan?
Continue therapy. Therapy, of course. I need to have someone I can talk to.
And that's it.
Therapy and the support of my family. Yes.
So it's hard for me to believe that with you talking about the relationship that you have with Jennifer Reed, that therapy is the only thing that you're going to give. Right? So alcohol was a big part of this.
Yeah.
You, right?
Yes, sir.
So the thing is that you going to therapy, where does the pro-social support come from that you need in order to continue to maintain recovery?
Maintain recovery. I plan on continuing the rehabilitation of not use of alcohol. You reach out to my resources of my sponsor, like I said, Jennifer Reed. Reach out when I feel that I don't have, as of right now, since I've been here, an urgency or a need. I see what alcohol has destroyed my whole life. I definitely don't plan to continue that. So my support is I'm going to reach out to my community. That's all I have is my community, my family, and my own moral judgments. And my God, I mean, no one else can make.
You've referred to Jennifer Reed as your sponsor a few times. Well, talk to me about that.
She's helped me with the condition as far as mental health. Am I thinking about drinking? What do I do? What stressors? What have I done here? What has my focus been? How do I respond in stressful situations? So she's pretty much been like her, with the exception of the counselors in here. I'm sorry.
I said the chair asked me if I knew of Jennifer Reed, and I do. She's with CCAR.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I said, as far as that, I'm gonna continue to reach out to my community. I'm gonna do some continue some AA therapy, even just in case. It's just a precaution.
Therapy is a catch-all phrase. AA is not therapy. Yeah, that's the issue. Okay.
So
what's the issue? I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to understand your recovery plan. Right. And what the chair just said was that you're using therapy as a catch-all phrase because, like you just said, AA therapy.
Well, recovery is not to do what I did to get myself here. Recovery is taking each day and living each day personal truths and making right decisions. I mean, having a therapist there to guide me is just an extra precaution, but rehabilitation, that's something I believe that that's the decision I have to make. I have to take responsibility for myself, my actions. I can't have someone holding my hand saying, telling me what to do. I have to do that. I have to make these steps. If I need help, I need to reach out. So as far as what I plan to do, I plan on raising my child. I plan on gaining employment, reestablishing my life, and becoming a successful member of society.
I think that part of it, Ms. Little, is that there's a strong sense of you being in control of it all. That's kind of like what I'm hearing. And so one of the big things with dealing with substance use is humility.
Yes, sir.
And it's like not if I, right? It's if I were in your seat and I was coming out here, I'd be finding out from Jennifer Reed, where are some good meetings that I could be at? Where are some good women's meetings that I could be at?
Absolutely. That's exactly what we're discussing. I've even attended Rushford prior to this, I put myself in a 30-day program. Yep. So of course, this is all a part of the process that she's going to help me work through, where I can get adequate therapy, women's group support system, support team. Yes. She's going to be my coach to help me to enroll in those programs. And of course, any conditions that you feel that might benefit me, of course, I will absolutely comply with what the Department of Justice, the Department of Corrections, or even the judge, whatever you think that I need, I am willing to do to get back out there and become a productive member of my society.
Right.
Damn.
I don't have anything.
Thank you. Ms. Little, are you an alcoholic?
No, not anymore.
Damn, yo, she's making a good case though. She's making a good case for herself, well spoken. Hey, when I go home, I'll be able to find a job. I have my CDL. I have family support. I have a sponsor, church. They were trying to get her earlier with the therapy recovery plan. They were trying to get her with that. She was out here nasty, touching on little kids. Yo, she 40, she 44, 45. She don't look it. She look 60. She does sound, educated. She's articulate. Knows how to speak. But yeah, but you get that little liquor in you. You don't know how to act. She don't know how to act. She get a little liquor in her, man. Little liquor in her. And it's this. Ain't no snitch energy, nigga. She did all that work by herself. Violating her children or someone's children.
But people say that alcoholism is a lifelong.
Right.
I don't consider it lifelong. No, I was alcoholic then. I am not an alcoholic now.
Are you a recovering alcoholic?
I'm a recovering alcoholic.
Right. So you're using a lot of terms and intertwining a lot of different things. And that's why I interrupted my colleague before to try to separate some things out. And I did the same to my other colleagues. So I apologize to both of you. But do you plan to attend therapy?
Absolutely.
Do you have a therapist?
I think it's necessary. Yes.
Who's your
I think it's necessary. I'm going to go through Jennifer Reed, like I said, as far as the alcoholism.
Jennifer Reed is not a.
I know she's I understand that she's CCAR. I was in Blake Street in Westville, Connecticut. I don't know what's available out there right now. I know when I was going, the therapist I had was just for alcohol. I want just not for alcohol. I want therapy for the entire person, not just for rehabilitation. And that's something I have to seek through my husband's program.
They are very separate things, which is what we're trying to tell you.
Right.
There's a recovery coach, there's AA, there's a sponsor, there's individual therapy. They're very separate things.
Right. I understand that. But I will have to find those separate entities according to my healthcare plan, what is covered to do. I don't know, like I said, I don't know what's available out there. I've been here for
if you get parole, you'll have the assistance of a parole officer. You have 10 years of probation, so you'll have the assistance of a probation officer.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Zappa?
I just want to go back to your interview with your parole officer in preparation for today. He notes in the report that you were not able to identify any risks that you may face upon release. Have you had an opportunity to rethink that? Because along the lines of the questions we're asking you, all of this is intertwined with how to respond to risks. What's that responsivity?
How to respond to risk is
identifying the risk.
Oh, so they trying to get him. So when you at a parole hearing, the lining of questioning, and these are stern motherfuckers. The line you have to damn near go in there as your own attorney. It's almost like you're taking a stand and they're doing cross-examination. And parole is a motherfucker. Parole could pop up at your house anytime. Yeah, it's just got the damn ankle bracelet on. They calling. They'll call you, text you, hey, yo, your ankle bracelet about to die. Charge it, motherfucker.
First is the first.
The first piece is I know I'm going to be very restricted. I'm going to be very limited. The risk is I'm going to face alcoholism. I'm going to face community resistance. I know I'm going to face trust issues with people. I know employment might be an issue, but like I said, I have an employer that's willing to take me back. I have to regain totally everything within my community, even with my family. You know, I have to get them acquainted and accustomed with this is how my life is now. This is how I will need to be monitored when I'm around you. I can't just do this and I can't just do that. I have to seek permission. I know everything. It has to come before my parole officer before I can do anything. I understand that. So it's just explaining to who I'm around and pretty much not being around, not putting myself in risk situations. As long as I can avoid not being in riskful situations, which I've never had that problem before. I work, I'm home with my family. I'm not a community oriented person. So it's just a matter of modifying how my relationships is with my family members and reaching out to the community to see what one-on-one therapy, with all these different paths of therapy that I need to seek and sponsorship and groups and things like that, I have to fit that all in within my lifespan. Within 24 hours of the day or the week. It's an adjustment. I admit I will have to make those necessary adjustments because if it's necessary, it's necessary. It's not an if, it's a certainty.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Little, give us a few minutes to discuss your case. We're going to deliberate and we'll give you our decision very shortly, okay?
Yes.
All right, so Ms. Little has taken.
They got to accept it because I think they just wanted to pick on her because she black. Because she's well spoken, representing herself. Now they didn't get into specifics of the case, but it sounded like she fondled on children. And they only gave her 30 months. What's 30 months? 2.5 years? That's 30 months. 2.5 years.
Taken programming. She clearly has support and she has some plan for when she goes in the community. There's some minimization here, definitely. I think she believes she knows more than she actually does about recovery, addiction, sexual offenses. And I think there's some denial too, right? Maybe she doesn't want to accept really where she is in her life and what she's done. There's a lot of work left to be done here. A lot of work. But I believe with the help of parole and then 10 years of probation that she can get there. I think she's done all that she can do within the walls of York. And I would be willing to grant parole today so that she can go out and continue the very necessary work in the community. Bizappo.
I didn't see the level of offender change that I was hoping to from a woman who has this level of education, but I think that's also something that's holding her back. As you said, that she seems to have all the answers. I think it's going to be interesting. You're not going to be in control over the next 10 years. And I think you have to acknowledge that. And you're only going to be successful if you accept the support and acknowledge the needs that you're going to have in order to be successful. So I will agree to support the discretionary parole because of the probation of 10 years. I think that if it was anything less than that, I might be hesitant to do so.
Ms. Paul?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I too would support parole in this case. All of the concerns that we both shared, I have the same concerns.
Yeah.
And I hope that, part of going to treatment for problem sexual behavior is going to be a mental health component.
Right.
And I really think that that's something that's needed here.
Yeah.
Because, it's things that we've been talking about are wrong thinking kind of things,
Yep.
But I would support that.
Thank you. All right. So I have a victim, JDP, no minors, no alcohol, problem sexual behavior treatment, mental health evaluation. Anything else?
As noted, she's on the registry for 10 years as well.
Yep. Okay, in the matter of Tiana Little, inmate number 441077, I'll move to grant parole effective today, December 20th, 2024, with the following additional conditions. No contact with your victim, initials JDP. No contact with minors without the express permission of your parole officer. No minors. No consumption of alcoholic beverages, problem sexual behavior treatment in the community, and a mental health evaluation and treatment if it's deemed necessary. All in favor? Aye. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't. Thank you so much.
All right, keep working on yourself.
I
Wish you
definitely
the best.
will. So I guess I'll get more information later.
Yeah, someone will reach out to you. Yeah, it won't be today, obviously. Thank you so much.
Hearing. I'm just pissed off watching this. She comes in here and she denies, lies, no accountability, nothing. She did nothing right, and they reward her with parole because she can get more programs on the outside. It's not as if should be some type of accountability that can be taken when you are having your parole hearing. This is someone who is dangerous. You know who she reminded me of? She reminded me of Sarah Boone. She's talking about how educated she is, how fantastical she is, how knowledgeable she is. And it's like, well, what's your job? Well, I'm a greeter at a funeral home. And the parole board, just because she was talking about how educated she is, that, wow, she's really educated. She's got a lot. She's great in the community. How creepy. Are you not creeped out to find out that she works at a funeral home? I know that creeps the hell out of me. Now, if you're curious what she did, we don't have to, this didn't make the news. But from the legislation, the plea deal that she took, it can give us an idea. Okay. So according to what she took a plea deal for, remember, she didn't go to trial or anything. This whole entire process happened really, really, really quickly. She was arrested on 2/22/2023. So February 22nd, 2023, she's arrested. She's sentenced on October 11th, 2023. She's given 30 months. And now she's paroled basically a year and 2 months later. And what it means is that what she took a plea deal on was sexual assault second degree. Now, sexual assault second degree means that a person is guilty of SA in the second degree when the person engages in S and full-on intercourse with another person when that person is 13 years of age or older, but under 16. So this child could have been 13, 14, 15, or 16 years old. There it is. Can you imagine that the legislation says that they should be sentenced to a term of imprisonment of which 9 months of the sentence is imposed may not be suspended or reduced by the court? The minimum for doing that is 9 months. The minimum. That's legislation in Connecticut. If you go and steal a car, I guarantee you the minimum's greater than 9 months. Still a purse, do something. But when it's a child, it's not so important.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And it sounds like, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because this hearing was so vague, but I think it was a family member.
That's what I think so too.
And she takes no accountability. It was probably one of the worst hearings we've ever had. She starts off by blaming it on alcohol, on how it was her band day, morning, afternoon, night. It was her everything. It even runs in her family. And then they say, well, okay, what are you going to do when you get out? Oh, Miss Reed, Miss Jennifer Reed. That was her answer for everything. Like, we've heard her name, Miss Jennifer Reed, brought up, but she did not. It was just, oh, Miss Jennifer. Oh, Jennifer. She's my answer for everything. Sure. Yep. Are you an alcoholic? No, I am not. I mean, I've been locked up for a whole 9 months, so of course I've been clean. Wow, they're sick. She alters the life of a child. She takes no accountability, and she's in her Sarah Boone brain, so smart, the smartest person in the room. She's going to go back there and work at the funeral home, which I don't think is a given. If she's gotten any type of reputation in this small little world, you think you want to be greeted by a child essayer when you're dealing with this stuff? Or she'll go get her CDL license like every other chomo goes and does.
Oh.
I have no other information. There's nothing on this. If you recognize, we had a new parole board member in town. I don't think we fired her yet. So Mary can do that now. Miss Zako Sasu was appointed by the Connecticut Board of Pardons and Paroles as a full-time member in October 2024.
like every
she previously
other
served as the
chomo.
town manager of Enfield and the mayor of the city of Bristol. Both roles, she concentrated efforts on creating community resources, safety nets, and vulnerable populations. Hey, but if you're releasing a child predator into the world, who cares, right, Mayor? Right. She was also the task force in the Opioid Prevention and Civil Retaliation Board for its work on removing the stigma of substance misuse and encouraging recovery, while the city of the Bristol Recovery, encouraging diversity, blah, 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 blah. Pathetic. I just don't understand why those put in charge of us can't see that this is someone who is do you not understand that this has nothing to do with your alcohol, which I think, it's easy for me to say, maybe she made it all up. Like, chomos are chomos. Those who harm children, that's what's in them, but they don't see it that way. She has to register for 10 years. Oh, it got completely out of control. Well, she failed every question miserably. I'm the victim. She really views herself as the victim. I didn't set boundaries. I felt that he was looking up to me. At one point, when he called me auntie, here we are. But I'm very educated. I have educations in law enforcement. I have educations in culinary. I'm getting a CDL license. Right. That's why you're doing the most sophisticated job possible by being a greeter at a funeral home. Wow, you're really highly educated lady. She could do no wrong. It makes me sick. No, you shouldn't have paroled her. But their answer is, well, she has nothing else to do on the inside. How about she just simply hasn't served enough time for altering the life of a child? How about she completely failed her parole hearing that she shouldn't get out? It was a 30-month sentence, suspended with 10 years probation. So why don't you let her fill out a few more of those 30 months? No. Give her a cookie. Give her a cookie for failing miserably. Disturbing, pathetic, sick. That's my opinion. With that, I'll let you go.
I felt that I was getting through to the victim, and he was relating to me. I didn't draw the line when they began to call me auntie, or when they began to look up to me as an authoritative figure. One of my sisters has 11 children and grandchildren. My other sister has a child and grandchildren. I have 4 children.
Man, I think I want to end the episode there, Unless if I get like a super chat, cash app, or someone hop on the panel. If not, I end the live right here, man. Probably, upload a pre-record. But yeah. Let's replay a few more of these clips. And if not, I'm out of here, man. Who in the building?
Verdict is proper and unanimous. As to count 2, we, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of attempted murder as charged in the indictment. Beginning on the first row. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Sir, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Yes. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Yes. On the back row, sir, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Count 3, we, the jury, find the defendant, Carly Madison Gregg, guilty of tampering with evidence as charged in the indictment. Beginning on the first row. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Sir, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. Ma'am, is that your verdict? Yes, sir. On the back row, sir, is that your verdict? Yes, ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Sir, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? Ma'am, is that your verdict? All right. All 3 verdicts appear to be unanimous. The court will enroll the verdict. All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
She tight.
Look at me, ma'am.
He keeps turning.
He keeps turning. Ma'am, I told you once before. Let me please help you understand. Well,
because I can. It's not a crime to smell.
It's not a crime.
Continue what you were saying.
But it doesn't help you, all right, to irritate people.
All right.
And you have a lot at stake in this case.
It's not a crime to smell, is it?
I didn't say you were committing.
Okay then.
I'm saying you're not helping yourself.
Continue what you were saying.
I'm
allowed to smell.
I would suggest you do what helps you, not what hurts you.
Okay.
That's
do what I
all.
want to do.
Well,
Let's
do
get
what
that
you want to
understood.
do. That's fine.
Let's get that understood.
So when considering the aggravating and mitigating circumstances of this case, the court is required to impose a sentence that is sufficient but not greater than necessary. So Ms. Johnson, I will sentence you as follows. As to voluntary manslaughter, I will sentence you to 20 years to serve 10 years in confinement, the first 5 years of those 10 years to be served in prison, and the remaining 5 years to be served as home confinement. The remaining 10 years of the 20-year sentence will be served
pretty
on
privilege is a
probation.
thing.
Special conditions of the 5 years of
Pretty
home
privilege is a
confinement
thing.
is that you must be fully employed. You can only leave your house for work, medical appointments, school, and for minor children, school appointments, minor children's therapy appointments, and minor children's school-sponsored activities. The hours of your work, school, and medical are only to be between the hours of 6 a.m. and 6 p.m., and there is to be no one at your home at any time during the duration of your sentence who has a felony conviction. As to count 3, the aggravated assault, it will merge into count 2, voluntary manslaughter by operation of law. As to count 4, aggravated assault, I will sentence you to 10 years to serve, to run concurrent with count 2. As to count 5, the possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, I will sentence you to 5 years to serve consecutive suspended. As to count 6, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree with the victim being, I will sentence you to 12 months of probation to run concurrent with count 2. Special conditions of probation is that the minor child is to see a licensed therapist, counselor, or psychologist twice a month for 12 months, and that you are to attend and successfully complete parenting classes for 12 months. As to count 7, cruelty to children in the 3rd degree, which I will sentence you to 12 months on probation.
Man, oh man. Listen, y'all. It's 10 o'clock. I'm gonna get out of here. Maybe I'll go live tomorrow. We'll see.
Born alone, die alone, die alone. Born alone, die alone, die alone. Born alone, die alone, die alone. Born alone, die alone, die alone.
All alone in this wilderness. Who could figure life as ill as this? My vision's blurred from gorillas, mist, gun sprays. Trays left a portion of my crew in graves. Niggas that were true in ways unknown to these zoos today. Intelligence kept us all away from state evidence, cause it's evident this world is control on dead presidents. Never hesitant, I'm soulless, filled with coldness. Born to uphold this till I'm left dead from oldness.
Born alone, die alone.